Hello everyone, welcome to the Northern Tarot. My name is Andy. Today I will do the reading for Monday, which is the Oracle Messages. And this is going to be the Oracle Message number 52, and it's a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, so first of all, I want to say happy Monday, happy new week, and happy shift to everyone. Because this new moon energies in Gemini, it start the process of shifting a little bit further with the new collective consciousness. So this is about the global effect. If you remember, I was sharing with you that this works like a domino effect. So it will start from, like different groups. They will have a different ways, channels of, connected to each other. But in fact that we all connected. However, because it will have to start from different structures of organizations, and then together they combine and they creating that powerful forces worldwide to push the consciousness. So it will start with all the key workers, like the chosen people, chosen ones, and these people are holding a very high frequencies to manifest the new earth, and it was spreading out to their groups, their clans, their lineage, their environment, their locations, and so on and so on. So the more we are aware of this, the more we actually contribute in the process. So I know that because shifting is about changes, and changes means that removing the old things and then the emerging of new things. So it can be scary, it can be quite overwhelmed, it can be quite lonely actually, because some of you, I'm sure that you will resonate with what I say, because all of that created by the changes of energy. So when things like this happening, because this is once in a lifetime, and actually the whole histories of the earth so far, this phenomenon of shifting consciousness and frequency to the 5D is the first time. So even the very high up ranked people in another realm, they couldn't predict what's going on, because it's down to us down here, because we are the crew members, on the ground. So we are ground crews doing all these works. So for that reason, if you really trust the process, yourself and the collective energy, then we will raise the awareness of that, how important the role that we're playing here, and then we just keep focusing on the knowledge of what we believe in. So the knowledge is simply is about understand what's going on, what is the goal of the outcome of this, and the formula of happiness, by focusing on only what keeping you happy. Even nothing left around you, you don't allow yourself to, because it's a buffering time of the buffer zone between the old areas and the new areas. So people will swing somehow to try to get back to the old ideas, or even the old people trying to hold you back or ask you to come back with the unknown in front of you. So the unknown tends to create the fears in human beings, but it also creates the exciting. Depends on how you look at it. So if you are, allow yourself to really feel what's going on at the moment, because there's a big shift. It's super big. And it's two kind of like non-stop events. All the energies, it's on and on and on and on, and sometimes it can feel too much. However, it's what it is, And that is the contract of the new contracts that the Earth agreed. So she will stay and protect the human species, or else there will be event that and the fact is humanity is actually also agreed with this shift. That's why the whole universe is trying to support all of us down here to going through this shift and make it a better world. So everyone is actually very important keychain of the network. So if we learn not to separate ourselves away from the process, not separate ourselves from the collective, we will feel stronger, we will feel more empowered with whatever activities or tasks that we are doing in everyday life, simply by making yourself a cup of tea, for example. Because you know for the fact now that if that cup of tea is the act of what makes you happy, you do it, the meaning is different, and you allow your frequency to rise up. Now, if we don't understand this, we separate ourselves from the meaning, the purposes of what we're going through. We will make a cup of tea as a habit, but we're feeling, oh, I don't want this life any longer because everything is a mess, if you see what I mean. So that is exactly what the shift is about. And to be honest, it's not for long. For this time of the new moon pushing. So the moon only stay in Cancer for 2 days, and then the moon will soon moving to Venus, and then everything's gonna be really wonderful. So by the mid of this week, everyone's gonna feeling so much better, and probably you will surprisingly find love, because everything is actually trying to indicate, okay, so to exchange of the old things and everything for your courage of drop things behind, with the meaning of joining the collective mission. So that is the difference. So please think about that. And okay, so because of that, you're gonna receive this, which is much better, because the universe always prepared better things for people. And the delivery of those rewards only come when you are ready. And you are ready by you prove to yourself about the meaning of your existence through understandings, the act of understanding, the act of kindness, of purity, all these sort of things in combinations. Now the reason why I say that, because with the people who chose the path of, just like they chose to be like the earthbound soul. So they chose to be, because they still heavily influenced by materialism. So they will have to wait until all of the collective energy of the chosen people to start to spread that influence, that powers, and then they will follow, because by then like the whole world is rising up, so they don't have choices but to follow. So that is how it works. But because we already chosen the spiritual path, but that's why we're looking for the answers, and that's why we're looking for a higher learning, higher teachings. And this is actually when we learn to look on a higher perspective, we will find ourselves much more privileged when it comes to the difficult choice. But because we understand that life is actually just a very short time in the whole process of the soul journey, the soul learning. So that's why because we understood that, we did not take life serious, and now we're in that process of remembering what it was, why it has to be this way, to make sense. And once we make sense it, we will feel firmly moving forward and manifest the new world, the new life, with a new consciousness. Because that 5D consciousness is about getting things in without having to working hard. It's like you're doing things and you're getting things at very kind of like level of ease. It's a simulated world. So imagine in the spiritual realm, in the fifth dimensions or in another dimension, higher up, the higher you are, the faster you manifest things. That's why people don't eat, people don't work, because everything just instantly can be made in front of you. Because that is the abundance of the universe. But because we degraded the dimensions to come down to the third dimensions, right? So things very slow. We have to work hard for the money, and we have to crawl for all these things, and it causes a lot of problems. The greed, the crimes, discriminations, all these sort of things. So now we going back to where we once from. Now I was watching one of the podcasts, and the channelers, now her counselors say that the human did not remember, but at one time we were from high dimension, and we just degraded, and now we on the way back by remembering who we are. And I kind of like agree with that, because obviously that this kind of things allow people to stay much happier. We don't see the result of manifestation yet, because it can be happen overnight, because it's require the collective fifth dimensions, the consciousness of the 5D of the collective, to allow the individuals to apply it faster. Because if you gain the fifth dimension consciousness before other people, for example, of course that your life will change faster compared to when you were at lower frequency. However, you cannot make it like at ease, like a dream of a picture that we just share with each other. We still have to got that collective energies. It's like the portals, if you see what I mean. It's like the collective create the portals, and the portals has the key person in it, or a few keys people in different locations. So it's like a map of the energy maps of the world. We can't see it, but if you're in that situation, you can feel it. So through this portal, it creates the new earth, and that new earth is allow people start to manifest and change the lifestyle. Actually, things, the lifestyle will be changed. So from now, within next 20 years, there will be a lot of changes. Everything will come much lighter. Okay, guys. So let's go to the cards, and we will see what spirits have for us. Okay, so let's go to the cards. Oracle Messages number 52. And as usual, I will pull 3 cards from the tarot, and then we will see what we have. Oracle Messages number 52. Okay, here we go. Let's see. First cards we have number 5, the 5 of Cups. Feeling, how I say, it's the feeling of the transitional. So you're feeling like you're in the middle of nowhere. You're not sure if you belong to the past or the futures, or what's going on at the present. That kind of feeling. So it's a bit hollow feelings with the 5 of Cups. But the good thing is the energies of the 5 Cups is in the reverse. So it's like the whole new world is moving and turning. But you don't see it yet, because there's a light force here trying to come in. 4 of Wands. There you go. So the whole new world. So you're coming from one point that you're feeling so isolated and no one actually understands you. and you wonder that what is going on, why all these things happening. But we already got the answers, right? Because I try to provide people all the necessary information when it comes to the divine timing of when something meant to be said, and when we have real fortune. So don't worry, because what I see here, and this is not just today, because we saw the Wheel of Fortunes came out 2 times, and we saw the Four of Wands came out 2 times recently. So this must be right. And as I say, very soon, when the moon start moving into that Venus, it's like the revelation, it's the aha moment for many people. And on 22nd, when the moon conjunct with Venus, it's gonna be quite a splendid energy to spend. Doesn't matter if you are single or you are partnered, there will be a lot of boost in your emotional life. So the theme seems to be about love here. Love and healing, actually. Now, the reason why I saw the Five of Cups in reverse energy, because of the way the energy is looking down to the Two of Cups, it's the energies of getting ready. So people start to understand the process, and that the heart is the broken heart is no longer the broken heart. Or once you recognize what experiences are about and what it means when we say recorded experience. So experience recorded by emotions. I was about to say true. It's also true if you say experiences recorded true, but it's by emotions. As long as emotion attached to something, that experiences will be valid. Now, without without emotion, it's no longer valid. So it becomes invalid. If you think that way, then you will understand why that feeling of heartbroken actually meant something as valuable experience for you, because without that feeling of broken heart, it no longer means anything. So if we look at that way, you will no longer, have to suffer, and you actually treasure that and put it into your Akashic records, the Akashic space where you store all your wisdom. Now, all these experience, all the skill you learn, especially spiritual skill, is always stored. It will be stored as long as the earth still agree to support the human species, not wipe out the memories, because it's stored here on earth of your journey. So I hope that every time I do my reading, I will provide a little bit more of my understanding, my insight of the whole spiritual aspect of what I know, so people will get us a better idea of why things supposed to be that way. It's a healing skill. To me, the best way to heal is through wisdom. Because when we understand something, that thing will will be no longer, the fears, no longer be the damage, the hurt. We only store the emotions because we want to make sense of it. That's why we recorded it, to make sense of it. And when we're able to make sense of it, we allow ourselves, our soul, to expand. And that's exactly the expansion's plan of the soul. Okay, so now we can go to the oracles. So we will go to the Star Code Astral first, Oracle Messages. Number 52. If you would like to donate or find information about the course, aligning your with your higher self, please find the information in the description box. Okay, so Star Code Astro, the first card we have, number 19. The Moon, Perception. Isn't it amazing? Because we now experiencing the new moon in Gemini, and because it's in the Gemini, that energy, it's allow you to see things. Unlike the moon in Pisces, it's kind of like disillusioned you. So that's the reason why I say this is like the shift. You see things clearer over your emotions, over your cloudy emotions. Even things not stable or supportive around you right now, but at least you will got that recognition of your emotional maturities. In other words, you might feel yourself, hang on, why I don't feel miserable like before. For example, there is a certain patterns that you might came across recently, but it did not quite make you feel the same anymore. So that is a sign of you are shifting. You're getting to the next level of your emotional maturity. So that is the perceptions of the moon that brings about. It's like the clarity for yourself. But this clarity triggers by the new mindset. So it's a big blessing. So, okay, it comes to quite a full cycles of very, very old emotions that people, how I say, lingers in and out for long time, and now it's time that the big shift will shift you out of that shadow and blurry energies of your mind, of your feeling, not your mind, sorry. So second card, let's see what we have. Oracle message number 52, the Star Code Astro Oracles. I really love this deck. Number 44. Oh, wow, we have the Four of Wands, now we have 44. I don't see the sixth house, yes, because it says the sixth house sustainabilities. So you're stepping into the new foundations, you're stepping into the new home, you're stepping into new environment, new relationship, anything that you name it. Because literally you stepping into the new Taurus values. Because Jupiter is in Taurus. And Taurus is an earth sign, it's about sustainability. I just move the card here in case that we need more space. So if you think about Taurus, it can be your new appearance. So a lot of people wants to exercise or doing gyms, running, meditating. It's about refining your life. Even, the scale, the structure of your life to refine it, you will be willing and ready to do it. And this is a lot to do with, let me think. So it's the solar plexus, because I have the visions of Taurus. It's like a golden buzzers of things. So the chakra here, we have the solar plexus is right in the middle. That's the third chakra. So your energy centers is being activated. Something tells me that you are going through this. Now, this is very important because in one of the reading, we have the message from spirits about a random chakra will be opened. And I really hope if you've got any chakra being opened, you can come back and share it with me so we know. It's important because it indicates that you are rising up from the first chakra, the root chakra, to the crown chakra. So the higher up you go up, the higher up you will start to understand what manifestations coming to you. It's the indicate of the alignment, because you are stepping into that alignment energy. So that's the reason why I want to see the color. Let's make an example, right? So if you got your heart chakra open, so that indicates that you might get aligned with your new romantic story. But if you manage to open your throat chakra and your eye chakra, third eye chakra, for example, you will allow the communications to bring it in, the love, the way that you want it, or you even allow your third eyes to see through the cloudies of the people who are trying to copy your soulmate, or even allow the picture, the visuals of your soulmate to come in your mind, if you see what I mean. So the higher up the chakra you get, the faster you manifest things. So if you learn the skill to get aligned with your higher self, the first thing that we need to learn is to open the crown chakra, because that is the gateway to the cosmic energy. But you will have to consider about opening the crown chakra, because you cannot close it after that. So basically you will be very intuitive, can be very sensitive, and can be quite, people will get used to things, right? So it's not a big deal. However, it's still something that I need to warn people, because some people they don't want to change the way they feel, the way they connect to the universe. That's fine. But once you open, especially when you open your third eye chakra, you cannot go back, you cannot close it. It might affect your sleep, because at the beginning it will be very bright. It takes some time to get readjusted to the energy. So for me it takes about nearly a week, I remember, since it's open. The day after that, the first day after the opening of the third eye chakra, I couldn't sleep at all 24 hours. You feel like you're going through the ICU in the hospital, right? So it's quite scary if you not prepare yourself to about all the experience. But once you make up your mind, then everything's fine, because it's part of you anyway. It's part of your body. So the star seed we have, your life is a canvas, an artist, manifestations, creative accountabilities. Wow, amazing. Now, this is about how we figure out what to put more in the pictures of the paintings that you already got, in a sophisticated way, that everything is embraced, including the past and the future. So that is the meaning. So your life is canvas. You are an artist. An artist is actually the symbol of the fourth dimension, the consciousness. So if any one of you are involved in artist work, you already live in the fourth dimensions, but you might not look at it that way. However, the structures of the fourth dimension is not applied in the 5D, so we will have to push more by using that formula of happiness. Stop the judgings and just do what we're happy with only. Anything not, because for example you're happy with drawing, right? So that is when you're in that fifth dimensions, because you're doing it. But once you finish your paintings, you start to get bored again, and then you will be sucked back to something like the old habit, something that you're not happy with, but you're still doing it. So when we kind of like see it that way, we will allow ourselves to find kind of the readjusting process rather than, you know, something too complicated, by adding small thing that makes people happy step by step, and finally you suddenly realize that you're in a place of love, with that frequency of love within your heart, because your heart tuned that into the environment by staying in happiness. And that is what the 5D is about. So you know, with this card, that your life is a canvas, I kind of sense there's some sort of new manifestations is on its way to you. But to allow it to happen, you will have to be more, this is important, creative accountabilities. Well, now, what does that mean, creative accountabilities? To allow the new things, the new abilities, the new alignments, these new manifestations to get in. There is something that spirits want you to look deeper right now on to the current situations of whatever that you obtained, something that you obtained, to try to kind of like recreate or reinvent or recolor it, because that process is the process of bridging to the new manifestation. So in another word, if we try to think of something too ahead, even that it might be the idea, the final goal that we reach, it's gonna be quite an obstacle, the disruptions, because because we need to go through the ladders. So there's a steps in front of you, and that step is something that provided right now, that you already have it inside you. So something about looking within and reconnect with your heart, because your heart holding the keys to the mysteries. Okay, so second card, we have You're Not Alone, isolations, physical connections, and community. That's the Five of Cups about, right? So Spirit say you're not alone, so don't worry. Isolations, we understand that but remember, you're not the only one. Physical connections, community, allow you to be part of the collective energy. It's simply by doing it. So sometimes, you know, people don't say, I don't want to talk to anyone, because sometimes if you in that kind of like, you need the time for yourself, it's totally understandable. And it's actually, it's good, because when you don't want to do it, it's what to make you happy, if you see what I mean. So just make sure that when you're doing it, but it's not what makes you happy, that's different story. That is the self-destruction things. So make sure that you only do it when you're happy. Now, when you're in that mood and you're feeling that I'm being isolated, then remember that there's a lot of people out there, all the activists, all the light workers, healers, empaths, whoever that you name it, very similarly to you, very similar to you. And they probably, you know, because we never know how people going through what they're going through, we cannot assume. There will be a lot of people worse than us. We always more fortunate than the people less fortunate. That is for sure. So Spirit say, don't worry, because you know we understand. Just keep faith in there, because your manifestation, the new world is coming. But the more the collectives agree and working with each other, believe me or not, when people sleeping, a lot of people actually travel to the astral reprogrammes, and we might, receive a lot of informations, agreements, even, like volunteers to do the missions and the tasks down here, but we just didn't remember it. So the best way is just to shift, because that's what the universe say. It's time to shift, so we just shift, regardless. And when the universe say, now you can party, and we just party, we don't have to worry about anything. And when the universe say, now this is work time, or this is upgrading your skills, and then we do it, then it will be much easier. But for Sagittarius, the new moon is in the 7th house. It's kind of like the universe say shift, because it's how you're gonna find love. It's the mystery, right? But it's worth to giving it a try if you don't have anything to lose. So now let's go to the Celtic spirits. What we have. First one, we have the portals: change, gateway, and new beginnings. This is amazing. That's why we need to shift. We need to trust. We need to keep carrying on through the. And the portal is 26, so I have the feeling that there's 22nd you have Venus in the moon, and so by the end of the week, it literally can be 26th of June. We don't know, right? But we will verify the information. But this is just the ideas that pops up in my mind when I see it. But definitely that there's the new beginnings. But this new beginning is behind the unknown veil that we need to just go through it. Basically, we just need to walk and step through the unknown. Again, it's about stepping into the new foundations. There's a lot of 4 and 8 in these readings, so there's something much more sustainable that when you're looking back one day you will know that it's all worth throwing things away. Well, you don't throw things away, it's just not useful anymore, so you need to declutter those things that become junks in your house, because you don't want to have a new home full of the old junks. So now the second card, we have the Green Woman, feminine natures and oneness. So this is the moon energies. This is about you will, allow yourself to nurture yourself more, to listen to yourself more, get connected to yourself more, because through the connections with yourself, you will start to feel the path that you belong to. So it can be your ancestors, it can be the collective consciousness, it can be the collective energies, it's simply the people, sharing the same goals and views with you. Like the tarot channels. But there's something about you become the Empress. So it's the energies of you about to take power and shine. It's also about the new beginning too. Feminine natures and oneness. Well, in this case, because it's still about the moon energies going on, it's still about the shifting of consciousness, and the 5D is actually the oneness, the unities. So connecting to nature is also a very good way to do this, because when you feel that you're part of the whole things, just like nature is part of the universe, and we're part of the natures, and we're part of the universe. So we start to realize that we all belongs to the same source. It's the key. People forgot that we from the same source. So people tend to act separately and wants to claim their own powers. But that's where all the problems rooted from. So this is like the journey of finding your own true self of the innocence. So that is what the card is about. So connecting to natures or meditating, meditating actually also connected to nature if you think about that. Now you don't need to go out to nature if you don't have that conditions. By sitting on the ground and feeling the synchronities with the earth, it also becomes one with the Mother Earth. It also becomes one with the nature. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let's see what we gonna use. We're gonna use the unicorn. Sorry, guys. Right, I just make sure that the cards can be seen. Okay, so the unicorns for Oracle Messages number 52. Well, so far I kind of feeling great with this energy. It's giving people some assurance about all the mysteries at the moment, and it's kind of like in time. It's just to say that spirits really understand how the collective's feeling at the moment. So the unicorns, we have the freedom of truth. The freedom of truth, number 12, communicate honestly and be who you truly are. The freedom of truth. Well, I don't have any connections here with the story yet, but the freedom of truth is simply by it's the feeling of a lot of confusions, or the confusions from people, not necessarily from your side, needs to be addressed. That's how I feel. Because people also feeling that shift, because it's the soul telling them. And when they're feeling that shift, and obviously that you are much higher masters when it comes to shifting energy, because you are Sagittarius. But the card comes out and it reminds me of people might just want to approach you or recontact you about something. But they do not really understand what they were looking for or what they're asking you to do for them. So it's a time to just be the way that you have become, simply by living with the new identities, the new energy that you obtained. So that is the freedom of truth is about. So the second card we have, create your visions. Number 3. Number 3 is actually very artistic numbers, and it's doorway to the divine anyway. So 369, the Tesla formula. So create your visions. Do what makes your heart sing. Do what makes your heart sing. You are being nudged forward. Wow, amazing. So now I can see it. So freedom of truth, go with your create your vision. So basically spirits say just stick to your vision, don't swing, don't moving backward, because there's nothing backwards actually worth the experiences for you. That's the thing. Now even when people trying to argue with themselves because of the ego things, trying to say that, but it gives you some stabilities. Well, okay, that is the ego way of arguing. It sounds logical to some people, but I don't think in our channel people think that way. But imagine that some people, because there will be people like that, especially people with less experience about life, they will think, okay, that is more security and things like that. Question is, with when we play that safe, it's like, like, see, the divine plans, you can make different decisions, and there's always the possibility and tendency for each decision we make. But the main point of the divine plan is it's allow you to apply the free will, but those are the ways out of the main divine line will not give you that satisfactions of what the soul looking for. So even when people, secure and in that stability, like let's say money securities, but the securities will not be something tremendous for you to be like a millionaire, living on the top of the world. It's just kind of like, like very kind of like it's not limited, but it's just enough. If you see what I mean. So when people choose that and stay in it, and people will start to find it so boring, it's so meaningless, it's kind of like torturing eventually. Now that is why spirits say create your visions or stick to your vision. More exactly, because you already got your vision. You all always got that vision, trust me. All you need is to tap in your intuitions, or connect to your heart actually, because your heart is where your soul will generate all that desire and the signals, the sign of what they want, and bring out that visions that you meant to seek. So do what makes your heart sing. You are being nudged forward. So as long as you stay true to your purpose, regardless of no one's left behind you, no money left beside you. I know it sounds crazy, right? Try it and you see. You'll be nudged forward for that reason. That is a very Sagittarius way, the lucky go way. It will lead you to something. Okay, so the Rose Oracles. Let's see what we have. Now, the Rose Oracles. We have trust the seasons, embracing change, cycles of life, transitions, and growth. There you go. We were talking about that in the introductions. Went through that, and now it's just a confirmation from spirit. So it's definitely that is what's going on. So if you still doubt yourself, don't need to. Embracing change, cycles of life, transitions, and growth. So it's exactly what is happening. So as long as you embrace your happiness by doing things that make you happy only, you allow the changes to come. And because we're going through that cycles, and everything going through cycles, the whole universe, from the smallest scale to the largest scale, doesn't matter, it's always cycles. So that's the patterns right there. So when we understand the patterns, we allow it to be on a new level, why we're happy rather than we going through the cycles and worry and stress, depressed. And once you allow that to happen, you will transition yourself to the new growth, which is the foundations that waiting for you. So imagine that everything's been, this is a film, so everyone has their own film of productions already in place. The film only change the scenarios when you change the tendencies of the decisions of the current beings. So you change the tendencies of which way the film plays. So if we understand that, we will just do what makes we happy. It's to allow the film to play the next stage in the right order. So it saves us time from not getting lost into the different wrong direction by using the free will. So the free will is a good thing to have, but it's also quite a dangerous thing to use, because when you don't understand well about what free will is about, you might become stubborn and a dickhead. Because a lot of people, told me that, but I have the free will. I say, yeah, of course you have free will. Just use it. Do whatever you want. You don't need advices. If you see what I mean. A lot of people like that, especially young people. If you go online and go through these comments of, these topics, I was thinking, really, that's what people think? But I choose never, commented or reply these people, because it's waste of time. We only share the knowledge with the people that we trust, or the people who trust us. The strangers, don't waste your energy with them. So, the second rose oracles, we have whispers of the Mother Earth, creativities, idea, inspiration, artist, writer, and channel. Wow. So this is kind of like specific message, and this is, for me, I find it interesting because I'm actually involved in these learning. So the Mother Earth, want you to send your message, if you in creativities, if you are an ideas inspirational people, or you have ideas that inspire people. If you are an artist, it's also creativities, right? But it's a little bit more specific if you're an artist or a writer or a channel. I'm thinking about channelers because I'm trying to learn channeling recently, but it's really difficult, trust me. There is something about the next psychic abilities that you might bump into, or you might be led into. So if you are any of the career path that the Mother Earth wants you to focus on, then don't give up, even it's difficult. It will come. It will come at some point. Okay, so now let's see, before I go, what else we can sneak in here. Hopefully we can sneak in the next two cards. I don't think we can sneak in, but well, we can try. Now if I move this over here, then maybe we'll have some space. Right. Okay. Right, okay, so that looks okay. So I can sneak in two cards here. Yep, well, I can sneak in here. So this is the angels and ancestor oracles. Now, let's see what we have. Oracle message number 52. The Hermit, retreat and recharge. I think that is the whispers of the Mother Earth right here. So if you in the process of unlocking your new psychic abilities, because I know a lot of the people, when you are involved in the spiritual path and the collective mission, all of you, you will know when you're seeking for information. As long as you seek for information, you already one of us. So your abilities comes out when it will depends on your divine timing, your awareness. So the higher you raise your awareness, the faster and the closer you reach that divine timing to bring out your abilities. Of course, you will have to need some learning of higher skill. We call it the higher learning. You can either learn through spirits, or you learn through the spirit guide like me, because spirit guide can be the non-physical form and the physical form. But for me, because I don't have anyone else I know that can teach me, so I actually learn it through spirit. So I just ask them to teach me. It's a little bit difficult compared to the humans, because obviously that we can speak and we understand the emotion better than when you're working with spirits. Spirits, basically you just have to working through your understanding and channeling with them. Okay, so now the second card, let's see what we have. Spring, see your seed growth. So guys, there's a lot of things here, right? So it's a mixture, and now it's still coming back down to that first card, the Five of Cups. So there's a mixture between we understanding, but we also feeling a bit hollow because of leaving the old things and moving to the new things. But part of this, we also understand that there are bigger things, better things ahead. So because this is like the shifting, but the shift is going through that buffer zone. So it will need some determinations to push people a little bit stronger. Something about take a jump, the leap of it. So you think about that, because you want to see things grow very fast. And the retreat and retract here is, if you focusing on the spiritual path, or like you reaching to that awakening, then it's also a good time to learn some new skills. That is all it's about. Okay, so before I go, I will pull one card from the angel answer. Now, if you have any question, yes or no, only for yes and no questions, prepare the questions or just pause the video, and then we will pull one card for yes and no. Oracle Message number 52. And then I will pull one card for love and relationship. I don't think I need to two, because there's a Four of Wands here. Definitely that, a new love coming toward you. It's a soulmate. A decent soulmate. Not a copy or the mimic soulmates. So one card for love relationship, Oracle 52. Healing family issue. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. It can be the healing of family issues, or even yourself issue. Anything healing, because if you're looking for the soulmate, or allow the soulmate to come in, it's really down to how you heal yourself. So anything related to the inner wounds, the family wounds actually more tough compared to the romantic relationship, if you think about that. But the natures of the problems is actually the same. It's still all about how you overcome that challenges, rather than thinking of who did bad to who, or why it happened. Because excuses are just excuses to create the event. The meaning of the event is what you need to look at and how to overcome it. And that's the only way that you allow your soulmates to be called in for you. Because Spirit will know when you're ready to treat someone with the full healed heart. Okay? So, yes and no question. Ask your question, and here's the answer. A year from now. Guys, whatever you ask, maybe you ask when I get married, or when I get rich, or whatever the question is, it's a year from now. Okay? So this is all I've got for you, Oracle Message number 52. If you like what I'm doing, please like, share the video, subscribe to my channel to help it grow, and you can find the donate button in the description box. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and bye-bye.